My name is Abu Walid Dajani. Not to mention, even though I have white hair, but I have to say, we're no more young, born in Jerusalem in 1944. Of course, in Jerusalem at that time, that was the British mandate. Now, if we come first, before the hotel, to the Dajani family. The Dajani family has been here in Palestine at that moment and in Israel for the last 700 years. We were the guardians of Mount Zion, of the King David's tomb. How did it come, the story? The story came in like this. On Mount Zion, there is a whole mountain, and the Franciscan used to have that mountain. They owned, the Franciscan in the 1500s, that mountain. And the Dajani family owned a big property of land from Jaffa Gate to Damascus Gate. So at that time, the wall was built around Jerusalem, but Mount Zion, unfortunately, was not included in the walls. So the Franciscans were unhappy, and the Turks were unhappy. They have slaughtered, even cut off the heads of 2 Turkish architects who made the plans. This is very, very well known. And their tombs are right on Jaffa Gate when you come in Jaffa Gate. So the story goes like this, is that the church, the Franciscan, went to the Turkish mandate that time, Abdul Hamid, and asked him that if possible, they can take the piece of land on Jaffa Gate, on New Gate, and give us Mount Zion. So it was an agreement that the Dajani family will take over Mount Zion. So the whole Mount Zion, from that time until today, 95% on papers is owned by the Dajani family. We were there until 1948. The war broke out, and then until 1967 it was no man's land. Nobody could enter. 1967 the war broke out, and the Israelis came over and took off all the properties now. And until now, of course, we have a cemetery, it's there, the houses are there, but of course we're not allowed to go on. That's part of, for example, the Dajani family, what's so-called Dajani family. It's a big family, as I told you, coming back to 700 years. We are scattered all over the world. Now coming back to where are we? This is the hotel called the East New Imperial Hotel. We are located on Jaffa Gate, and coming to the story of this hotel is that in 1949 we are Palestinian refugees. We left our homes 10 minutes from here. We came to the old city as refugees, and my father was looking for a friend, actually, a Christian friend, his very close buddy. So they told him he's staying at that time at the hotel on Jaffa Gate called Citadel. So he came and saw his friend. It was late 48. So he saw the place, and then my father was working in trade at that time. And he met his friend and all these things. Then my father saw the first months of 49 that he was not able to go back to business or to go back home to West Jerusalem at that time, and nobody could cross to go back home. So he went to the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate at that time, and he made a deal with them that you could lease the hotel. So he rented the hotel 15th of July 1949. So I was young at that moment. I was only 5 years old and 4.5 years old, and then at the age of 6 or 7, I used to go to school here, to a French school called the Brothers School, Collège des Frères, a Catholic school. My father was an elderly man at that time, and I was the youngest in the family. So you know what a young boy means. A young boy means a bébé. And I used to come every day to see my father here and to take from him a penny to buy chocolate and to buy a sandwich and all this. Then I used to stay a few hours in the hotel. This summer I used to spend time in the hotel. Whenever I don't have classes, I came to the hotel. I don't recall the childhood, playing on the streets and playing with the kids and football. No, I always remember that the hotel, coming into the hotel, that every minute that I don't have school, I used to come here. And the story goes like this. Until 1961, I read in the newspaper that there is a scholarship to go to Switzerland and study hotel management. So I came to my father, and my father was angry. He wanted me to become a doctor. He wanted to become an engineer. That was not the case. With all the difficulties I have had by my father, I went to Switzerland. I was one of the very few Palestinians who studied hotel management in Switzerland. I came back. And then the story goes on. 1973, the apostolic delegation wanted to open a university at Bethlehem. And in Bethlehem, so I spent 30 years in my life as the director and founder of hotel school at Bethlehem University. My elderly brother was here. When he passed away, I came over here in the year 2000 to take over the great responsibility, left the academics apart, came to the hotel here and to carry the responsibility. This hotel has been more or less built for a Kaiser, a German emperor at that time. So that was in the 1893. That was one of the very few hotels that there were built here in Jerusalem. And until today, as you see, the location is a landmark. It is inside the old city. And there is no doubt that such a huge building needs lots of renovations and needs lots of budget. But as you know, sometimes living in circumstances which the business is up and down, you cannot foresee 100% by the end of the year that the financial economy of the hotel could be good in order to, so you do little by little these installments in order to be able to get along and to furnish and to supply the minimum services for the hotel. Now, being a Muslim, I come from a Muslim family. We rent the building, the hotel, from the Greek Orthodox Church. We are on very good terms. The Patriarch and myself, we are one body. The Greek Orthodox Patriarch, until today, Theophilus III, and myself, we are one body. We are very close friends, and we're trying to restore this building. My duty is to keep this building for them as much as I can, to restore it for them in order, because I always feel that belongs to them. Although I have rented the place, or my father have rented the place, but it is something we cannot deny. Things which is not for you, it is not for you at all. So the Muslim and the Christian relationship is excellent. They look on a positive eye. I have great respect for them, and we are on very good terms. Now, coming to the little bit part of the political part of Jerusalem, as you know, the location of the hotel is on Jaffa Gate, and Muslims and Christians, they live inside the old city, and now Israelis, Jews, they live inside the old city. The Orthodox Church owns 40% of the old city, Jerusalem. The Catholic Church owns 30% of the old city of Jerusalem. The other sects of the Christian denominations, like the Lutherans, the Episcinians, the Mennonites, they own another 20%. Then the Muslims, they own less than 10%. Now the Israelis, the Jews, they own 5%. So the majority of Jerusalem is owned by the Christian denominations. They have the say in the final status of Jerusalem. So people sometimes, they think that with all the complications that the Christians have nothing to do. No, the Christians, they have the upper hand for Jerusalem. Not to mention, the Greek Orthodox Church owns 4 to 5% of the land of Israel today. They are very rich, powerful church. Coming to Jerusalem, as you can see, you go around, you walk around, everybody, they live in one piece and not pieces. As you hear in the newspapers, our Muslims and Christians and Jews, we are all together. We live in harmony. There is no doubt. Now, happy or not happy, this is in your heart. East Jerusalem is under occupation, okay, so far. Some people, they are pro, some people are against, some people, but coming to history, it is an occupied territory. Now, of course, for the, let's say, until the final status comes, until there will be a settlement, until there is a man, a leader in the world that make history, there will be a solution. But unfortunately today, my friend, everybody reads history. We don't have a charismatic leader to say enough is enough. We don't have a leader that is thinking of the generations to come. He is thinking only of his term of being a president for 2, 3, 4 years. But to think of Israeli generation, Jewish generation, Christian generation, Muslim generation, unfortunately this is not the case. I wish there is somebody who could think of the generations to come and not think of his term in an office being a president or being a head of state. If this is the case, then the people has to live in pieces. There will be no harmony. I wish, and we all pray to God, that everybody is praying for peace. You wake up in the morning and you think of God, even though if you're a Christian, or a Muslim, or a Jew, or a Buddhist, or name it whatsoever, there is only one God. And everybody loves this God. And everybody, God is within you. God is within the heart. God is within your soul. You think of Jerusalem. You think of all these three monistic religions that they come from Jerusalem. And I wish that everybody could come to Jerusalem, could pray in Jerusalem, could pray to the peace of Jerusalem, that this city could one day really live in peace and happily. This is the terms of the... Now coming to the hotel. The hotel has 40 rooms. It is 1,600 square meters. And we try our best in this humble house to treat the customer as guests and friends and no more as a number. This is our policy. It's not that we have to know Thomas by the name Thomas. His family name is Kevin. Yes, he comes often. I always remember names. I have to remember names. And we make it a policy with my children that we have to come to know these people. Definitely we're not 100% as the big hotels. No, this is a moderate, humble house that cater for the people as much as we can. We make them happy to stay by us as much as we can, because we know very well that these people, in order to save money for the trip, they have minimized things at home. Maybe not buying a new car, maybe not buying this, maybe not giving the children what they deserve. We know this. So we live with their ideas, we live with their financial situation, and the only thing our caring for the guests is that they feel happy when they leave us. They think of us good, they think of us highly. So as this is the term of investment in this humble house, I think, Thomas, if this is what you need, this is what always you can get, please pass the message to the friends that always when they come to Jerusalem, they can find a friend, even though if not, they're not staying by me. When the apostolic delegate in 1973 called upon, he wanted to start a university in Bethlehem, and I had a meeting with him, with his beatitude, P.O. Laki, very nice. I never forget that great man. And we have a talk. And he said, with the presence of a brother, an Arab brother, a Palestinian brother, who was the director of the hotel, of the brother school on New Gate. And he said, Mr. Dajani, I think you are one of those people who knows and who have a background about the hospitality industry, tourism. I said, yes. He said, can you put a program in your mind on a piece of paper and come back in 2 days and see what we can do, because we're planning to open a university in Bethlehem. We don't know if this is going to succeed. We are going to try. Budget is very low. We have other 4 faculties to think of. So let's see what you can do and come back after 2 days, if you can put something on a piece of paper. So after 2 days I came back with a proposal, and then I met the 3 American brothers who were the administrators at that time. What do you mean administrators? of a university, 3 classrooms in a building which is owned by the brother school, that they have 700 kids playing around, and we have 3 small classrooms. We stay in the car to give 1 lecture and to go out and all. That was Bethlehem University. Now coming to myself, at the university there was a sous-sol, a cave, deserted. And you know what does this mean in a big building, a cave? You know, nothing was there. So myself, my students, we arranged that place to make it the School of Institute of Hotel Management at that time, with the help of the local people and not from outside. Not a single penny we got it from outside. We got some monies, little monies, whitewash, and then to get this and to get few books, and little by little to start a school. Then things came up serious. The Vatican constructed a school, a high school for the kids who were around in 1978, and then the whole building was to start it up as a university. And we started, of course, putting up other programs. We are pioneers. The Institute of Hotel Management at that time was pioneers, and until today in program of the hotel management and tourism. What does this mean? This means that until today there is a school of hotel management, there is a school that gives tour guide license, there is a program also for the travel agencies and the IATA. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I got personally the approval of the IATA to start a course on Bethlehem University without a Palestinian airline at that time. Because without an aircraft, without airline, Palestinian airline, you cannot start a school with IATA. I did it, and I made it, and I put it on Bethlehem, at Bethlehem University. So my background, this is what I gave the Palestinian people. It was education in tourism, in all aspects of tourism, and not to mention, this is the unique place on the West Bank, in the Palestinian territories, until today, that they teach hotel management. Now, plus, at the Notre Dame Center in Jerusalem, in the 1990s, also, I have given efforts to start a school, a professional school, on Jaffa Gate at the Notre Dame, at that time. So anything that comes on Palestine today, background, we talk tourism, my name is there, my name is behind it. Now, the humble thing that I have also encountered in my life is that I was the technical committee coordinator who made the paper between the technical paper between the Israelis and the Palestinians of tourism. This means I, along with a few colleagues of mine, have prepared the negotiating paper between the Palestinians and the Israelis in the 1990s. So that was my background. Of course, the academic, plus I have nothing to do in politics. I'm always there to help the people as much as I can. Now Bethlehem University has 450 faculty members. They have 3,000 students. The faculty of hotel management is going. The director was an ex-student of mine, so my name is, he carries my name until today, even though physically I'm not there, but spiritually he is sitting in a chair that he, that he knows very well. The efforts we made together at that time, he was one of the first graduates of mine, and he's still going there, and his name is Nabil Al-Mufti, which is doing a great job. And he's continuing on the same path that we did at that time in 1973. So that was really the university, Bethlehem University, growing like anything and giving services for the people, for the Palestinian people. And with, I can say and I can vouch that is this one of the best rated universities now on the West Bank, with the I could rather say the best facilities for the students on campus. And this, we lived it day by day. And this is my second family, or the first family, I must say, because I have spent too many hours on campus for 25 years, much more than I've spent with my children. But always I say, thanks God, God gave me more than what I deserve, the family, the children, because I never turned back and said I have done, or I gave, or I have spent. That was history. My policy is to think always what to do, who's responsible, what is the caring, who is caring, what to do best for the future of the people here. That's my policy until today. Let me put it straightforward for you. The Americans, the Europeans, the donors are putting the wrong money in the wrong place. Period. The money should go to education. They must invest in education. These people, they invest in having papers to be prepared, conferences to do, other things irrelative of what really you have to do. If this money that has been put up, now it's 50 years of occupation, half of it or 1/3 of it to put in schools, to educate these youngsters. Now the youngsters, when he goes in, he is at the age of 5, he graduates at the age of 16, 17. If you teach him the proper education, then Thomas, it is there. He graduates with the spirit that you said. He's a Jew, he's a Muslim, he's a Christian, so what? That we die the same way, we make love the same way, we sleep the same, we eat the same. What's the hell religion has to do with it? God is yours, God is for the Jewish guy, God is there for the Muslim guy, God is there for the Christian. What for? But this is something that has to do with education. I remember a story, it's not a story, it's a fact. In 1975, my eldest boy, his name is Amir, and if you go into Google, look for Amir Dajani now. We see. He went to school, to the same school I was in, which is the Collège des Frères. It's a Christian school. I'm a Muslim. So I went home that day, and happy like anything, and to see my son coming back from school from his first day. My first question to him was, what is the name of the boy sitting near you? First day. He said, Dad, he's a Christian. I said, what? He said, look here, this is in school, because they have separated who's going to take religion. I said, no, Daddy, don't you ever tell me he's a Christian. Tomorrow you can come back and tell me his name and his surname. And when he graduates, and until today, his friends, most of his friends graduated, were Christians until today. You see, charity starts from home, Thomas. It is how you raise your children, irrespective of kippah, you don't put a kippah. People many times put a kippah, but they're not good people. Many people, Muslims, they go to pray, and they're not good people. The same for Christians, they go to church, they are not good people. He goes out from church, and he lies. He goes out from the mosque, and he steals. And you go to the synagogue, and you do something good. So what's for religion? This does not mean anything. It is, that's why I come back and say, if this money that was spent by the Europeans and by the Americans on things they should not have spent it, to spend part of it on education, we are much better now than yesterday. So that's why I always say we need men to think of the future. And we don't need men to read history. I want somebody, a leader, to come and say, as from 2014, education would be as follows in all schools. We have to change the system. We have to put new system. We have to change. You teach not only by the word peace. No, peace is not enough. Conference is not enough. It has to come with the child when he is at 5 years old in the high school with his friends, to sit down, and this is the love, to teach him love from that point. This is absolutely the case. Otherwise, we are all liars, Thomas. I'm sorry to say. Everybody lies. They're all big liars. They say peace. What does this mean? I don't understand. And if you count the word peace, how many thousands and thousands, billions of times this word has been said peace, but without any meaning. They should boucler in French, they should no more stay. They should act in order to create peace. Act, to do, and not only by words. By words you achieve nothing, Thomas. Hatred will be there, because you get the Palestinians or the Jews or the Christians, they breed the milk from the mothers with hatred, with no love. So the mother, first of all, has to know what love means, to know what to love thy neighbor means, and then peace will come. But unfortunately, this is not the case, and you have to wait another 20 years the same. More hatred, nothing else. Because system did not change. And I don't know who has the power to change. Is it the interest of the world to change? Or maybe it is the interest of the world not to change. It's always to have a conflict in the area because of certain interests of certain leaders in the world, which I believe that this is the case. Okay, if this is the, then we say, well, let's think of who is going to change. But I believe that they don't want to change. No, they don't want to change. I hope one day we'll get a good leader, not to read history, but to make history, and that all people will live in harmony. There is enough room for everybody to live in harmony. The Jews, the Christian, the Muslim, we are all brothers. We are all human beings, and we must be like this forever and until eternity. And I think this is what I believe.